Well, world, it is Monday, April 4th, 2022, and looking out the window at Defiance, it's raining this morning, and I think that's going to be the story for most of this week, is off and on rain. But April showers? Not sure we need more showers, but it is April. The devotion this morning I will be reading from the UCC Lenten Devotional, The Long Haul, and it's written by Martha Spong. And the title of the devotion is In the Meantime. And Martha bases that devotion upon Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24 through 25, New Revised Standard Version. And let us consider how to provoke one another to love and good deeds, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. And Martha writes, in college, I double majored in English and history and learned a few things about reading books and letters written a long, long time ago that shaped my thinking still. Who wrote this? When and where? Who translated it? What influenced the choices they made? What is this word stirring up in me? We don't know much for certain about who wrote the book of Hebrews, or when or where, so any interpretation is a best guess. The people who neglected to meet were probably not going out to brunch instead, but trying to stay safe from persecution faced by the early church. I sometimes wonder if the belief that Christ would soon return, the day approaching, felt like a relief for them. The present challenges would end. In the meantime, maybe they could just wait safely at home. The author said, "Gather anyway. We need each other." Almost 2,000 years later, we may not think much about the day. The invitation to gather may seem less pressing, and the alternatives for our time are many. We spend more time thinking about the looming end of the world or human hands than about the return of Christ. Yet these words stir something in me. They provoke me to remember how my growth in faith has never come as a solitary exercise. We need each other for support and challenge and inspiration too. We need each other in the meantime, no matter how long that is. And the prayer. Gracious God, give us the communities we need. Amen. Well, I think this is this devotion for me brings to mind part of what it is to be the church. It's to be in community with one another, to support one another. And sometimes I think we don't do enough of that these days. And maybe it's because we think there are so many different alternatives to support one another that we don't think of doing it as the church. Or we think that people are being supported in other ways when the reality is they're not. So I think it's important for us to come together, to have community, to share our lives, to support one another when there are problems or even when there are joys to be celebrated. Because that's really what it means to be a follower of Christ, is living in community with one another and using our varied gifts to support one another. Because none of us can do it alone, but there's so much more we can do together. Anyway, that's my thoughts for this devotion. I hope you have a good day. I hope you stay dry, and I hope to talk to you again tomorrow.